We live in a world that is obsessed with noise. We believe that to be understood, we must speak. We believe that to be powerful, we must command. And we believe that love or attraction is something that is negotiated with words. But my friend, let me ask you a question that might unsettle the ground you stand on. What if the most profound conversations of your life are happening in total silence? What if the woman across from you has been shouting her heart out, not with her voice, but with her energy, and you have been too deafened by your own logic to hear it? We often walk through life like sleepwalkers, thinking we are the architects of our destiny, especially in our relationships. But the ancient philosophers, the Stoics, and the masters of the East understood a truth that modern men have forgotten. They understood that human connection is not a transaction. It is a resonance. It is an echo. Today, I want to take you on a journey. We are going to move beyond the superficial list of dating signs. We are going to descend into the psychology of the soul. We are going to explore 7 profound shifts, 7 whispers of the heart that reveal when a woman is not just interested in you, but when her soul is recognizing yours. This is not about tricks. This is about waking up to the reality right in front of you. The first shift is what I call the sanctuary effect. You see, the modern world is a storm. It is chaotic, demanding, and often cold. A woman, by her biological and emotional nature, is often hyper-aware of this chaos. She carries the weight of emotional nuance that men often filter out. So, when she steps into your presence, watch what happens to her storm. Does it rage on? Or does the sea suddenly calm? When a woman genuinely likes you, your presence acts as a grounding rod. You might notice that her face brightens or she smiles. But look deeper. It is not just a smile. It is a release of tension. It is an exhale. This is a law of relationship echo. She is echoing your stability. If you are a man who has cultivated inner stillness, a man who is not easily rattled by the world, she instinctively feels that she has entered a sanctuary. Her glowing energy, that sudden happiness she displays when you walk into the room, is her spirit saying, I am safe here. Ask yourself this. Are you a sanctuary? Do you bring the peace that allows her to shine? Or do you bring more storms? Because if she lights up around you, it is because, for a brief moment, you have allowed her to put down the heavy shield she carries for the rest of the world. Let us move to the second shift. The geometry of trust. We are often told to look at body language, crossed arms, eye contact, leaning in. But let's look at this through the lens of energy. The human body is designed to protect its vital organs. Instinctively, when we feel threatened or indifferent, we close off. We shield the heart. We shield the gut. When a woman is drawn to you, she engages in an act of unconscious surrender. She opens her posture. She exposes her neck, her wrists, her palms. These are the most vulnerable parts of the human anatomy. In the animal kingdom, this is a dangerous move. But in the realm of human connection, it is the highest form of flattery. It is a physical declaration of trust. She creates space for you to enter. It is not just that she is facing you. It is that she is magnetically aligning with you. She is inviting your energy to mingle with hers. This is why you feel that pull in your gut. It is not just lust. It is a recognition that a gate has been opened. If you see her physically unfolding like a flower seeking the sun, recognize the honor of that moment. She is trusting you with her vulnerability. Do not take it lightly. This leads us directly into the third shift, which paradoxically looks like weakness but is actually strength. The tremor of truth. We often think confidence is a key to attraction. And yes, for you as a man, stability is crucial. But for her, in the early stages of deep attraction, you will often see the opposite of confidence. You will see nervousness. You might see her stumble over her words. You might see a hand that fidgets, or a laugh that is a little too loud or a little too abrupt. The logical mind says, she is awkward. The awakened mind says, she is unraveling. Why? Because the mask is falling off. We only wear masks for people who do not matter to us. We can be perfectly composed, cool, and indifferent with strangers. But when we stand before someone who has the power to hurt us because we desire them, the nervous system reacts. The heart rate elevates. The adrenaline spikes if she is shy, quiet, or clumsy around you, but confident with everyone else. Do not judge her. Do not point it out. See it for what it is. It is a tremor of a soul that is waking up. It is a fear of rejection battling the desire for connection. Your job in that moment is not to mock the tremor, but to be the steady hand that calms it. Be the rock against which her waves can crash and settle. Now, as we deepen this understanding, we must look at how she spends her most non-renewable resource. The fourth shift is the currency of time. In our philosophy of the modern age, we are told that everyone is busy. We wear our busyness like a badge of honor. But the truth is, we make time for what we value. When a woman begins to change her digital behavior, texting you back faster, sending longer messages, keeping the conversation alive when it should have died, she is investing. This is a micro-investment of her life force. She is stealing moments from her work, her sleep, and her friends to give them to you. But let's go deeper than just texting back. This is about the continuity of presence. She is weaving you into the fabric of her day. She is saying, you are not just a separate event in my life. You are becoming the background music of my mind. If you treat these messages as annoyances or mere data, you miss the point. She is offering you a window into her internal world. How you respond determines if that window stays open or slams shut. But attraction is not always soft. Sometimes it is fire. This brings us to the fifth shift, the alchemist's fire. This appears as teasing, challenging, or playful conflict. Many men misunderstand this. They think she is being difficult, or they get defensive because their ego is fragile. Think of it this way. If you are going to build a house on a foundation, you test the concrete. If you are going to trust a sword, you strike it against the anvil. When a woman playfully insults you, challenges your opinion, or teases you about your quirks, she is testing the steel of your character. She is asking a silent question. Is he strong enough to handle me? Is his confidence real? Or is it a painted facade? This is the alchemy of relationships. She applies heat to see if you melt or if you harden into something stronger. If you can laugh with her, if you can agree with her frame without losing your own, you pass the test. You prove that your emotional stability is not dependent on her validation. Paradoxically, nothing makes a woman feel safer than a man who cannot be easily offended. It tells her that you are grounded in your own truth. So, welcome the fire. It is refining you, and where there is fire, there is also shadow. The sixth shift is a shadow of attachment, which manifests as quiet jealousy. Now, I am not talking about toxic control. I am talking about the subtle, instinctive biological reaction to the threat of loss. We only guard what we treasure. If you mention another woman, or if your attention drifts, watch her energy. Does the temperature in the room drop? Does her tone shift? Does she become suddenly quiet or sarcastic? This shadow proves the light exists. She has already begun to claim you in her heart, even if she hasn't said the words. In our modern culture, we are taught to repress jealousy, to act cool, to act like we don't care. But deep down, the fear of losing someone special is a sign of their value to us. If you see this shadow in her, do not use it to manipulate her. Do not try to make her more jealous to boost your ego. That is the path of the insecure boy. The awakened man sees the jealousy, understands the fear behind it, and offers reassurance not through words, but through the consistency of his focus. He shows her without speaking, you have no competition. Finally, we arrive at the seventh shift, the deepest and most profound of all. The echo of the soul. This is deep listening. Most people listen with the intent to reply. They are waiting for their turn to speak. But when a woman is truly falling for you, her listening changes. It becomes ABSO or PTIVE. She remembers the name of the dog you had when you were 10. She remembers your fear of heights. She brings up a small detail you mentioned 3 weeks ago. Why? Because she is mapping your soul. She is building a model of you within herself. She is trying to understand not just what you do, but who you are. This kind of listening is an act of love. It is the ultimate validation. She is saying, your reality matters to me. When you find a woman who listens to you this way, who treasures your words as if they were gems, you must ask yourself, am I listening to her? Or am I just waiting to speak? Because the law of relationship echo creates a loop. If you do not return this deep attention, eventually, her silence will become permanent. My brothers, we have walked through the sanctuary. The trust, the tremor, the time, the fire, the shadow, and the echo. These are not just signs to be checked off a list so you can get the girl. These are invitations to become a better man. You see, a woman acts as a mirror. If you stand before her with clarity, strength, and an open heart, she will reflect that beauty back to you tenfold. But if you are distracted, closed off, or chasing validation, she will reflect that confusion. The tragedy of modern dating is not that women are confusing. It is that we are asleep. We are missing the subtle symphony because we are waiting for a marching band. But these signs, this window of opportunity does not stay open forever. The heart that opens and is ignored will eventually close to protect itself. And the tragedy is losing the version of her that looked at you as if you were the sun. So, I leave you with this challenge. It is a practice for the days ahead. I call it the practice of the silent observer for the next week. In every interaction you have, whether with a romantic interest, a friend, or a colleague, try to turn down the volume of your own internal monologue. Stop thinking about what you will say next. Stop thinking about how you look. And simply observe. Feel the energy of the room. Watch the micro movements of the eyes. Hear the tone beneath the words. Ask yourself, what is this person feeling right now? Not what are they thinking, but what are they feeling? If you can master this, if you can become a man who hears the silence, you will not only understand women better than 99% of men ever will, but But you will also find a depth of connection that most people only dream of. You will move from playing games to living a life of profound resonance. The signs are there. The question is, are you awake enough to see them? Walk in peace, walk in strength, and let your silence speak as loudly as your words. Until next time.